So Chime Light, yes. So Chime Light is with us, and like I said earlier, she's an edtech expert, is a teacher trainer. Anything technology, she's an expert in it, and she's also the social media manager for Africa, ELTA. So I'd like to hand over to Chime Light, yes, to take us in this mind blowing session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much for making it a date here. I understand that. Wow, network. It just took our light. Sorry, I need to turn on my video. Okay, so I understand that it
No
can be very
problem.
I understand that it can be a very, very relaxing evening. You just want to relax and enjoy yourself where you are, and you have to learn. So I'll be sharing my screen now. I hope I have the permission to do that.
Yes, yes, you can.
Yeah, thank you so much. The topic is actually basic ICT skills for teachers. And I need to say the fact that I've learned a lot from Mrs. Joy's class. I really love early early years anyway, but many of us, there's a special patience that you need for that kind of session, and it's also a good thing seeing that most of these strategies that are being shared, it's is important because those are the years that if you don't get it right, you actually mess it all up. So today I'm going to talk about basic ICT skills for teachers, and you may look at it as a very simple topic, but it's very deep and is also very important. I'm very happy they were talking about it at this point. And I'm just looking at three things: gaining confidence as a teacher, using strategies that really help, and preparing your students for digital world, or even preparing yourself for digital world. So when you talk about ICT skills, type it in the chat box. Tell me what comes to your mind thinking about, okay, ICT skills. What comes to your mind as a teacher? ICT. What comes to your mind when you think about the word ICT, or when you think about the word ICT skills? What are those things that come to your mind? Kindly share in the chat box and let's see. I hope you can see my screen. Blessing. Is my screen clear?
Yes, yes, very clear. Thank you.
Okay. So can you let me know what you think about ICT? When you hear the word ICT, what comes to your mind as a teacher? What really comes to your mind? You can put your answer to the chat box, or you can just unmute and quickly say something. I want to just know what you think when you hear the word ICT. Okay.
Computer.
Yes, computer technology, laptop, power. Thank you so much. So think about computer, we think about laptop, we think about technology, think about a lot of things that make it kind of complicated for us as teachers. Okay, and we must save our internet. Thank you. Okay, technology, internet, computer, laptop. Yes, everything. No answer is wrong here. Everything is just perfect. So at the end of this webinar, my goal is everybody here should be able to learn essential tech tools. Secondly, should know teaching strategies with ICT. Then should learn how to prepare the students for digital world. So quickly, let's look at this thing. You have apps. I took the social media apps first. So let's look at social media apps and tell me how many apps you can see here. Name the apps that you can see here. Name the apps that you're familiar with. Kindly put your answers in the chat box. Let's get our chatbots busy. How many of us are very, very conversant with this, with the logos? Oh, thank you, Fatmata Communications. Now looking at this particular one, where else? What apps can we see there? What apps are we familiar with? Snapchat. Are you serious? I don't know Snapchat. Wow, interesting. Pinterest. Okay. Wow. WhatsApp, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok. Okay. So we do TikTok. So that's interesting. Oh, Twitter, yeah, X, Snapchat, WhatsApp. Let me see if there's a two there. Yeah. So is there anyone you're not familiar with, or you feel like I don't know what this thing is? Telegram, yeah.
Telegram, Pinterest,
Pinterest, Facebook. Interesting. Some people,
Facebook,
everybody's running now.
Instagram.
There's this app that we have not even said anything about. This one. So let me see if I can draw on this page. Coming quickly. Okay, yeah. So what app is this? What app is this? I want to know if we teachers know this app. What app is this? I know we know TikTok, we know WhatsApp, WhatsApp business, but what app is that one? Okay, let me see if anybody got the answer in the chat box. Yeah, okay, Discord, Abel. Okay, Abel says Discord. That is interesting. I need to clap at this point because a lot of people don't know this too. And I intentionally put it there because the reason is as teachers, we need to know everything. Sincerely, you need to have an idea of what is really going on in the tech field at this point. Now, Discord is just like WhatsApp, but it's a big boy WhatsApp. Let me just put it that way. So why I say it's a big boy WhatsApp is because as a as a tech person, you may want to do other things. It gives you the ability to divide into different communities. A whole company can host all their chats, all their information, all their meetings, everything on Discord. And tech guys like it that way because they want everything to be one place. They don't want to be seeing everything scattered in different places on WhatsApp where you are like, okay, WhatsApp one, WhatsApp two. No, they want everything to be in one place. And that is why WhatsApp introduced that community feature that we can see now, where you can be in one community but have different smaller groups. So that's just the way Discord, that is the basic way it works. But there are other bigger things that it actually can do. Okay, the next two. Let's see. How many of these apps can we identify? How many of these are teaching apps, so it's not social media apps now. You can see that social media apps, there are like about, let me go back, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there are about 10. We all got 9 over 10. So how many of these apps now can we identify? And if you can go further to say what these apps actually do, I'll be so happy. One more, who can tell? Okay, someone is saying something. Yes, ma'am.
GPT.
ChatGPT, what can you do, ma? Please, what does ChatGPT do?
Gives more information. It can
Okay,
they'll use it to get information, maybe information that we're not aware of. There are some
okay.
things, something like
Yeah,
that.
thank you so much. Awesome. I wish I really have a good. Don't worry, I owe you one. I owe you one. I need to know your name. Okay, now let's look at other apps. What can we? What else? What apps do you think you know there, and what can you use them for? She has said Chat GPT. We also have other tools that are there. Put them in the chat box and let me know what you think. What you can use these apps for, because the apps are even written on them, so you already know the names of the app. But now, what can you use these apps for? That is what is also very important. So, what can you use them for at those points? Let's share, and the chat box. Don't worry, I will definitely not pass my time, but I really want us to get these basics first. Okay, let me just move on. Now we have Mentimeter. Who can tell me what Mentimeter is used for? Any idea? Anybody who can tell me what Mentimeter? I've had the word Mentimeter. What do you use Mentimeter for? You can unmute and talk. Anybody? Okay, let me see in the chat box. Do you have anything? Oh, someone says Zoom. Mentimeter for feedback. Thank you so much, Abdul. Mentimeter for feedback. That is very, very true. Okay, now we have Elo history. We have Elo history. Who has an idea of what Elo history is used for? This is Elo history. This is Elo history, yeah. Okay, so hello history is for different things like your history classes. Now it makes it more interactive. We want to go and try it later on. We have Defeat for teachers. Defeat is like a tool that trains teachers on how to use different AI, generate lesson plans, do and so on and so forth. I'm actually rushing. I'm sorry. Then we have TWI, we have Microsoft Designer, we have formative AI. We have Google Notebook LM, that is for podcasting. We have Bricks Teaching. This is a new tool, but it's really it's really trending on the internet now, and a lot of teachers are getting to understand, and they love this particular tool because it's an AI tool that does more than just lesson generation. And it's also used, it also has a Chrome extension. Then we have Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is for interactive. So if, for instance, all those ideas that you have for the early years, you can use Edpuzzle for it, because you find out that a lot of times students don't like watching a long video. So what Edpuzzle does for you, that it breaks those videos into smaller segments where you can ask questions as they are watching the video. So once they get to that point where they are meant to ask questions, the question pops up, they answer, and they move on. So it just helps to create interactive videos. We have Pictory for a lot about pictures. Then also we have Zoom, we have Chat PDF that helps you to summarize your PDF document, answer questions from your PDF document. It's just like Chat GPT, but now this one answers questions or prompts based on a PDF document that you would have uploaded. We have Perplexity AI. I'm always encouraging a lot of higher education lecturers, professors, or even teachers that do deal with secondary schools, use Perplexity AI instead of ChatGPT, because that one is helps, it brings out citation, is more research based, unlike ChatGPT. Okay, we have Pally.Genie. We have a lot of interesting things, but let us just go straight to what we have for today. Now, does ICT matter? Does it matter? When you ask yourself questions, do you think it actually matters? And I'm sure everybody will say, yes, ICT really matters. The fact is because the need is, we're in the 21st century and a lot has changed, especially with um, COVID-19, that really helped us to, there's a big shift because of COVID-19. Now, classrooms are meant to be tech driven. Classrooms are meant to have a lot of tech integration happening there, because you're trying to raise the students that are going to compete with other people in different parts of the world in a tech driven society. You understand? Right now, if I'm working with some students, they are even the ones that will be telling me that, why am I wasting my time doing this in a longer way? There's a shorter way that you can do it, and so on and so forth. Then you're meant to prepare the students for future careers. And we now know that, just like the typist that used to be, if like when you're a secretary, you just have to know how to type using a typewriter. And just like the typist does not exist anymore, it's the same way some jobs may not exist, but instead they are going to evolve into something bigger, into something better. Some years ago, we're not talking about the importance of online teaching, but now we now know that as teachers, a lot of us are really transitioning into the online space because of different factors, a lot of factors. In fact, even before, homeschooling was not a thing, but now homeschooling is a big deal because of the whole change in curriculums, the whole change in values and all that. And different people are looking for people that can help them to drive this quality value with their students, with their children at home, and they don't mind investing in getting online teachers. Okay, what is the impact? It's going to really boost engagement. When you come to class and you just write on the board, today is biology, or today is English, today is math, and you keep on writing and writing and writing, guess what? Your students are bored. They are not engaged. But when you now use a video from YouTube, you play it to them, you ask them questions, you use other activity based kind of apps, they are engaged because tech is going to help them get engaged. Then also, as teachers, it gets very tiring when you want to, for instance, assessment, which is one thing that almost every teacher dreads, lesson plan or lesson notes, then assessments. But right now, you don't have to start getting to view, you write the names of your students one by one, then you now start saying, no, this one got 15 over 20. No, you don't have to go through all those stress anymore. You can just impute those things on either a Google Sheet, or you can even start from the scratch using a Google form where it just helps you to impute all the data from the start. Then Another fact is the strategy. As teachers, we now have to be very intentional about what you are learning. We have to be very purposeful, and we have to be open to learning. So why do we need tech? We talked about, does it matter? Yes. So why do we actually need tech? We have a lot of large classes everywhere. We have a lot of large classes, and right now it's only tech that helps you to be able to meet the needs of all these classes. And even where you have small classes, we have different learning styles. And just like taking from what Mrs. Joy said earlier on, that no two child, no two children are the same. So tech helps you to be able to meet the individual learning needs or the individual learning styles of the students. Then teacher workload is really very, very heavy. Is really very heavy. Then also lack of interest in school activities. So I had to get this particular slide from a webinar that was organized by Eltan, by Sally. So her name is Salome, and she talks a lot about using low tech tools. And I had to get this particular email, this particular slide from our own content, because she really talked a lot about different low tech tools. Shalini by talking about large classes, which is actually a very big deal for many teachers. Not everybody, like what Blessing said, not everybody is teaching in Lekki or teaching in big schools. People are teaching in the villages. So how do you even use this technology or these ICT skills as teachers? You need it. Yes, you do. So how are you now going to use it with these students? And that is where we need to understand, first of all, the catalyst of technology. What really fuels you integrating tech in your classroom? We've talked about why we need technology. Now, what really something fuels that integration or using it in your classroom? The first thing you need to know is that it transforms the learning totally. Secondly, it also brings about innovation. You're able to create something new from technology. That's just the way it's meant. That's the way it has been wired to do. Then thirdly, it builds collaboration. People are always saying that, well, tech is making people a lot of more independent. And no, it also helps to promote collaborative learning, which is actually a very good form of learning, because you're learning from each other, you're learning also from a bigger circle. Okay, then it also builds engagement in the classroom. So these are the catalysts, first of all, for technology. And we have different kinds of technologies. We have the low cost tech tools, we have the high tech tools. I showed you some list of some pictures of apps that we use now, and those apps are driven on AI. That is Hello History, Paleo.Genie, Charge PDF, Formative AI. All these were all created with AI. But we also have low-cost tech tools which you can also use in your different classrooms if you are working in the public space, because you also need the tech skills. A lot of teachers argue that, oh, I teach in a village, oh, I teach in a public school, I don't think I need this. How will I use it? How does it work? How, my dear, you need it. You need the ICT skills, because this same, like I'm always saying, the world will not wait for your students to grow up or to learn how to use these tools before they will start using these tools. So that is why you need to now look at, okay, what are those low tech tools? What are those low tech tools that I can use in my own classroom? Like, what are those low cost tools I can use in my own classroom? So we've talked about the catalyst of technology, and we're also going to talk about the different, I'm going to pinpoint different tech tools that you can use in your classroom. But let's now look at the essential tech tools that you need to know as teachers. What are those basic? There are a lot, but now I looked at just four. The first one is communication tools. So as every teacher should please know how to use one of these tools. And I'm always saying is that once you know how to use one, you can really replicate in the other, because the icons look alike. The fear most times is, for instance, in my community yesterday, somebody raised a concern. She had an online class, and she was, please, how do I use Zoom? So it's not because she cannot use Zoom, but I'm so sure it's looking at those icons, thinking, oh, how do I work with this? Wow, I don't want my face to show. Oh, I don't want to just, make a fool of myself and all that. But once you know that on Zoom, the icon for microphone is looking like a mic icon, it's the same thing on Google Meet. You know that okay, there's a video icon. Once you turn it off, there's a slash that shows that okay, it's turned off. Once you click on it again, it opens. So it's the same thing for everything. So you don't have to like be scared that oh, I don't know how to use Google Meet, so I don't know how to use Microsoft Teams. Once you're able to recognize those icons, the basic icons, how to unmute, how to use your turn on your camera, how to something, how to turn off your video and things like that. You are good to go. How to use the chat, how to use the poll, how to use the whiteboard, because it's just the same thing that works across. So you should know these communication tools because you're going to use them in your classrooms. I'm always talking about a particular friend of mine that talked about his experience. I think he's in, I guess, the Senegal. I can't really remember, but in a village in Senegal. And he told me that once in a month, he's always using Zoom to communicate with, he teaches English, to communicate with his foreign friends in America. And he always shows his students, how Zoom works. That okay, click on this button, you turn it open, you turn it on, and all that. Now, that kind of child or that kind of student is different from someone that has never ever seen how Zoom works because the teacher was not willing to learn how to use it, or if he was not willing to even share that knowledge with the students in the classroom. So you should know how to use the communication tools. Secondly, content creation tools. Yeah, we have Canva. I love Canva so much. Everybody always know I talk about
Sorry, Light. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, excuse me. I think your slides are not changing.
oh
I just
really?
observed. Yes, we are still on the transform, innovation, collaboration, engagement. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, is it has it changed now? Is it better?
Yes, yes, it has changed now. Thank you.
Oh, I think it's from the network. I'm so sorry. Okay, but you can see the
Thank
essential
you.
tech tools for teachers now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So we have content creation tools, and the reason why I had to show you first of all the social media apps is the fact that we use social media now for content creation. Initially, Facebook was like the very first thing. Okay, we had well to go, we had BlackBerry and all that, but now Facebook was like a very big deal. Was the very first one that helped us to be able to connect with our friends and our families. But now it has gone to a big level. You can actually monetize your Facebook and you can use to make more money for yourself when you have content. Recently, Olasukomi Opeifa is a very popular teacher, and he was on his LinkedIn page. He said, "I wish I took content creation more seriously because we don't see ourselves as content creators, but every teacher is a content. Your lesson plan alone self is content, and you can actually transform that content into something big. So these are skills that I need to learn how to use create content. So now looking at your classroom, because looking at that as a very as the basics, what kind of content do you create for your classroom? Is it just the lesson plan and you come to write on the board, or are your slides very boring? No, you have to look for ways to make it more engaging, more interesting. Apart from just worksheets, do something more interactive. Use your PowerPoint. If you can't use PowerPoint, if you can't use PowerPoint, use Canva. Canva is simpler. You just drag and drop, change here, and you're good to go. And you have over 10,000 templates. And guess what? I'm always saying this Canva for education is free as long as you're a teacher. You have access to Canva for Education. You have access to every feature on Canva for Education. It's free for you as a teacher. Okay, so content creation tools. The next one is assessment tools. So assessment is something that naturally person I don't know about any other teacher, but myself, I dread it because it's a lot of work. Okay. But now it has been made easier with tools like Google Forms, tools like Kahoot, tools like Mentimeter. Because now we're now seeing that formative assessments can be more interesting when you use tools like, like the Kahoot, like the Mentimeter, you can make it more interesting, more engaging. I did some years back, I think about 2 years ago, I did the quizzes teachers certification, something like that. And that was one certification I really enjoyed in my life. I think I had to write about it on my LinkedIn. I said that if all exams were like that, that's a particular certification course that I'm so sure I would have passed and I have not failed at all. It was just fun. It was interesting because is a gamification tool, so they're just all about gamifying the whole process. But it was really fun, and you cannot imagine students taking that kind of stuff. Why would they fail? They will pass now. You understand? Okay. Then we have classroom management tools, more of LMS. So LMS is like learning management system. So this two of you having everything everywhere, you have it in one platform. And one example is Google Classroom. We have Seesaw, we have Edmodo, we have Moodle, you know, and all that. A lot of improvements now for teachers because before, if you want to upload maybe a worksheet, you take like 5 steps, but now just one click and you're good to go. So you should know these are essential, these are basic. I'm not saying that this is everything, but these are essential tools and tech skills that teachers should know, at least for a start. Higher or advanced version, talking about research tools. You should know your research tools very well, especially now with the AI. You should know how to note that this thing is wrong, this thing is biased, this is not correct. That's why you need to know how to research properly. You should have good research skills. Another one, you should have good digital citizenship skills. Sorry, how to be a correct, how to be safe online, how to talk online, how to communicate online. Those kind of things are very important for every teacher. Okay, let's talk about strategies. I said that the catalyst for education or technology is about is ties, that is transforms, innovation, collaboration, then engagement. Now let's talk about practical strategies for tech integration. There are a lot of skills and there are a lot of strategies, but for me, I'm looking at four basic ones. So the first one is flip classroom. So flip classroom is telling you that instead of you to start from the scratch in class, that you can give them a taster of whatever you're going to teach them in class, then maybe a video or something they can watch at home. Then they come back to class to discuss that. So that's where you saved time for you. So it's just to give you more time to focus on the important thing, which is actually delivering these sessions, which is actually delivering the sessions and delivering, making sure that there's quality learning happening in the classroom. I know just the on the Bloom's taxonomy scale, flip classroom is telling you that you will do the remembering, the understanding stage. You understand, you do that one at home. Then when you come to class, the higher other level of thinking is what you're going to focus in the class. Because over time, we've observed that a lot of teachers, they don't have quality time for the teaching. They don't give quality time to the teaching process, to the teaching and learning process. You find that because of maybe the time and all that, they are just for instance, your math class, they give you simple things to do at home in class. But when you now want to send it to go back to go and do the whole higher order thinking, you are lost because they just gave you the simple stage in class. But right now, you're giving the simple stage, go back home and go and do it, come back and do the higher order thinking in class. That is what the flip classroom is about. Second one is project-based learning. Project bases, working in teams, pushing actively the forces of learning using technology. So these are other things that are very important when you're integrating tech in the classroom, practical strategies. The next one is gamification, gamifying the process in your class. And now we have a lot of apps that helps us to really achieve that. We have the Quizlets, we have quizzes, we have Mentimeter, yes, we have Kahoots, we have the ones like with surveys and all that. So these are things that help you with the gamification, even Ed puzzle. So even Seesaw. I love Seesaw although a lot of Africans don't really know how to use it, but it's a very, very interesting tool. Okay, then the next one is online platforms. That is such as your Google Classroom, the LMS platforms, even using your Facebook, using your WhatsApp, using different kinds of platforms to pass this knowledge. Just like what Mrs. Joy was saying during our own session, when she said that you can tell them to create something and share to you on WhatsApp. So it's not just for communicating and chatting with your friends, but even doing things that have to do with your classroom, if it is permitted by your school, because we are all teachers. But if you're doing your own personal thing, maybe online teaching for yourself, you can say your delivery mode is WhatsApp. That is your platform. So these are practical strategies for for tech integration. These are practical strategies for tech integration. Okay, yeah. So like I said, I love this particular one because during the webinar, like I said, was organized by Elton. She talked about the low-cost tools to bridge ICT gap, and this is one. These are things that she mentioned, which she had to share her experience, and she herself has been using it in her classroom. You can also check on the British Council website for our sessions. Okay, so low-cost tools that you can use that also helps you when it comes to basic ICT skills as a teacher is, yeah, you should have a flash drive. If you're working in a remote area or working with traditional kind of settings, have flash drives. Hi, look, Miss Blessing, can you see my slide? I hope I'm on the right slide. Hope you can see the right slide.
It hasn't changed. It's still on practical strategies for tech integration.
I'm so sorry. I think it's network. I'm very sorry.
No
Okay,
problem.
so we have flash drives. You should have MP3 speakers. Yeah, so MP3 speakers helps especially for the auditory learners and the audiovisual kind of learners. When you're playing your YouTube, there's a speaker, especially you're talking about a large class. You understand? You can use that for your large classes. If you have memory cards, it really helps because, for instance, you have those videos, YouTube videos, you can download them. So if you want to download from YouTube, you have your save.net. Savefromnet.com. You can use that to download your videos, or even have in your phone, you can have a video downloader. I have this video downloader on my phone. I think it's all video downloader. I can't remember. I hardly use it, but it has been helpful if you want to download videos from Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So you can also download those things from your YouTube. Then you connect to your speaker and you can use them in your classes. Then you should have phone screen amplifiers. Um, the traditional way is to use maybe your phone, then you cast it or you screencast it to a wall or a white cloth. There's a way they go about it. But right now, there are some China products now that help us to push aside all those things. You can just screencast to that, and it makes whatever they are watching from your phone bigger and larger. Okay, then we have pictures and posters. You can use Canva to create all these things for your classroom. You want to teach them plants, or you want to teach them something in English language, or even your numbers or something. Don't use cardboard. It may be very boring to them. But once they see the flyers, the posters, the animation, the avatar, they really make a lot of sense out of it. They love it. I was saying I was going to share something on my LinkedIn for Monday for history. We got to know that history has been added to the curriculum. And I kept on thinking that it's not even the addition actually. It's the fact that do teachers know how to teach this history with technology? So I was thinking of an idea came to my head. Instead, we should just talk about, for instance, Nnamdi Azikiwe, put his picture and talk the whole long story and everything. Why don't you use an avatar instead to signify? You can just use one of those AI tools to create an avatar of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Use Canva to design an infographic, talking about his basic, the basic things that he does and all that. So it just makes it more interesting for the students and our learners now. Even the adults, they love watching anime, love watching Avatar, watching animation characters. It sticks more because that is what they see every day. So that was just an idea that came to my head anyway. Then offline videos and audio. So this one It's for low cost tools, low cost tech tools. So you're talking about ICT skills. These are low cost tech tools that teachers can work with, and it also helps to build ICT skills in every teacher. Now, bigger tech tools that really help, especially for peer learning or collaboration, we have the Google Workspace, we have the Microsoft tools, we have the AI tools. So these are tools that you can actually work with when you talk about the higher order tech tools that teachers can really work with. So I hope at this point everybody can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, and we can see the slide. Tech tools for peer learning. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, well done.
Okay, thank you. So these are tech tools for peer learning in the bigger form, based on what you as a teacher would want to work with. So I talked about peer learning because I'm always saying that you can't learn in isolation. So and tech tools help you to also bring out the beauty of these things, and helps you to be able to foster collaboration, foster critical thinking, foster creativity. So these are tools that you can use and so many other tools. On this particular slide, I just talked about only the Google Workspace tools, but the other tools that you can actually use, and those are tools I had shared before, like the AI tools, the Microsoft tools, the video conferencing tools, content creation tools. You can use all those tools to push collaborative learning in your classroom and to push to drive other forms of learning. Yeah, assessments. We can't run away from assessments. This alone is a subject on its own. So when you talk about assessments and when tech meet assessments, you're talking about creating either formative assessment or creating either formative assessment, or you're creating summative assessment. So now when it comes to formative assessment, talking about using tools like Edpuzzle, Kahoot, Mentimeter, to make the learning engaging in the classroom. So that means when you're having your class, you can tell them that some schools do what they call the BYOD day. That is bring your own device to school. And when they come with their own device, you can do a Mentimeter tax, or you can even give them a Mentimeter tax or a Mentimeter assessment interactive task or activity to go and do at home, and you can share the results when they come to class. These are things that you can actually do to make your class more engaging and also to build yourself as a teacher, because these tech skills can't be built if you don't use the tech tools. It's the tech tools that help you to build the tech skills that we're talking about, like the content creation skills, communication skills, critical thinking skills, collaboration skills, research skills, digital literacy skills, no different kind of skills. Is the tech tools that actually help you to build these things. So these are tools that you can use for your assessment in your classroom. Then project-based learning. Project-based learning. Before we start talking about tech, AI. We really wanted to push, or we've always pushed the project-based learning. And now with AI, we found that the project-based learning is the best solution. So a lot of teachers will ask you, how do I do it? My students, I give them homework to go and do at home, and they come back, they are they use ChatGPT to get the answers. And now they have access to it, so they have to use it. And you're like, so how do I now work? You have to now look at project-based form of learning, whereby you are giving them tasks in class that require them to work either in groups to create something together, create slides, do a presentation, those kind of things, and assess them based on that. That way, they are now assessing their skills and not based on maybe you the Lacram Laporte thing, or something you can just go and get from any internet or get from anywhere. So it's very important to really push in the project-based form of learning, and tools that can help you. Canva really helps with project-based form of learning, because you want to, like, say, community kind of learning or experiential form of learning. You can say, for instance, You're trying to teach your students maybe climate. Let's talk about that. You can say this group, you're going to design a flyer for climate. This group talking about the different effect of the climate change, talking about the different kind of things. They now go back, use Canva to create maybe a video, to create a flyer, then come back and talk about it. So it just helps to build that project-based form of learning among them. Then we have the OneNote. Microsoft OneNote. It's not really a very popular one, but it's very, very effective and it really helps. And we have the Google Drive because they work together. Google Drive actually has access to other workspace tools like Google Doc, Google Slides, Google Sheets. You can all work in one place. So these are tools that help you to promote or to push the project-based form of learning. Now, preparing our students for digital world. This is also very important. We need to note that unlike before, where we are having cassettes, where you have to go to the radio station, now we have audiobooks. So this means that audiobooks alone, there are jobs that require you to actually like maybe either create an audiobook or use audiobooks. Okay, we have podcasts. Before you have to have like a proper setup to do a radio program, but right now with mic, I can be in my house and create a podcast. Okay, we have ebooks, we have blogs, we have videos. So why don't you incorporate these things into your classroom? Instead of giving them tasks that they should then go and read and come back and tell you what they've learned, tell them, okay, read that thing, read that literature text, and use a voice note to tell me what you learned from it. Or create a podcast on that, or design an ebook summarizing what you've learned, or even create a new story using Canva in form of an ebook. Or you can say this, you can say, okay, I'm creating a class blog or a class website. I want all of us to share things on this website. So they will not be those terms, they will not find it hard, they will not find it strange at any point in time. And even when they want to apply for jobs, they know that they've done something little before. They can now translate these skills that they've learned in just working in your own little classroom. They can now translate these skills in the outside world. This is very important that everything we are doing, in everything that we are doing, now we have prompt engineering as a job. All those beautiful designs that we do, some people actually sit down to understand how to create prompts. So why not give your student that task today? Let's look at ChatGPT, create prompts from on this, or bring a picture and tell them to guess the prompt that was imputed on the device to create that image. That way, they are forced to think, they are forced to use their adjectives, they are forced to use their verbs because they'll describe the background, describe the person, describe the air, describe the color, describe everything. So you can see that these are things that you can do in your classroom. You don't have to feel like you have to have something very big or complicated. These are skills that you need to develop even in your classroom as you prepare those students for the outside world. It's not like they have to be like they're in China touching robots. No. What are those little things that you can do in your own classroom? Okay, so our strategy for you as a teacher, what can you do? The very first thing that you need to really do is that you have to be open to continuous learning. It's very, very important. Always be willing to learn something new. I'm always hearing words every day: blockchain, cryptocurrency, machine learning. Instead of me to just discard and say, those young people, they don't even have sense. They're always just talking. What are you doing? All those money scam. Actually learn. Ask them, even ask the students, this cryptocurrency, what is it about? Come and explain to me. How do I get started? Because if you teach business or economics, you need to even have an idea of what that cryptocurrency is about. Because that's the new currency. It's no more you have to go to bank and all that. You have to now start teaching, talk about the things that really relate to their everyday life. So that is the reason why I keep on hearing, oh, school is scam, because we are not teaching what the students are seeing outside. We are still working in our own heads, teaching what's existed during our own time, which is not something that really makes sense. Then join tech communities for teachers. I don't know about a lot in Africa, but I have a tech community that I'm going to share the link later in the chat box. You can actually join that community. The other ones, we have Teach That Textbook community by Matt Miller. We have Common Sense Media. We have there are really a lot now. I can't really get them off my head at this point. But when you want to search online, you can just check tech communities for teachers. You just talk about only technology. You can also follow people online that do everything tech. We have Monica Burns, we have Matt Miller, we have Google for Education, Kate's, we have a lot of people anyway that really do all these things. We also have Africans too that do these things that also are really focused on tech integration. We have off the top of my head, we have Oluwakemi Oluwiola. You can check her out. You can check her online. We also have I can also share those things maybe later on in our group chat. But you just need to follow these people and also follow these communities too. Very important. Then choose one tech tool that you can try. At least this week or next week, think about one too. If it's okay, you've been hearing me saying Mentimeter, Mentimeter. Now go on YouTube, watch how to use Mentimeter, watch it. Try to create something using Mentimeter. Try to use it in your classroom. You understand? You should add about Edpuzzle, Edpuzzle. Go online, Edpuzzle. Many of these tools, they are even free for the first time at least. Yes, they are paid versions, but at least they are free for the first time they can use. So you can just try using one tech tool this week. And I'm always saying that start where you are. Start with what you have access to. It's very important. You cannot use all the tech tools in your classroom. It's not possible. But you can use one tech tool that meets the objective of what you're trying to achieve in that class. So the tech tool determines the objective, determines the kind of tech tools that you're going to use. And most tools are used interchangeably. So that means I can use what Google Slide can do is the same thing that Canva can do. So if I know Google Slides very well, for instance, there's a person called Eric Cott. Eric Cott knows Google tools only. So you know Google Slides very well. I focus on maximizing Google Slides. I know Canva very well. I love Canva. So I use Canva for almost everything I do, maximizing every potential that Canva can help me to create the magic I want in my classroom. Okay, so follow me on social media. This is my LinkedIn account, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. You can also send me an email if you want to. Then you can join my community for tech teachers, for teachers majorly, but it's a tech community for teachers. And I want to get feedback from everybody. So please kindly on your phones, your laptop, kindly go to www.menti.com and type this. I want to hear what do you think about this session? What did you learn? What is your takeaway? Just type it in the yes, type it when you get to this point. www.menti.com. You type in this code and you also type this. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. I think I'm done. Blessing. I hope I'm so sorry. I took
Thank you
3 minutes
so much.
of our time.
Thank you so much. You really kept to time, and we learned a lot from you within a very short time. Thank you. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. And from the comments, you can see everyone is grateful. Some are even asking for more. Well, let's see how it goes. Maybe next time we could go in more details to explain how some of those tools are being used. But like she said, I told someone recently, I told her YouTube is your best teacher, you know, and she was on me, oh, teach me this, teach me that. And I told her, YouTube is your best teacher, you know. So if you don't know that now, yes. And like Light just mentioned, you can go on YouTube and learn about Mentimeter. Most of these apps, you can go on YouTube. Life is easy. But we'll see what we can do because we know most people still want, you know, the one-on-one approach. And Light has left her contact, her email, and her platform A Plus Educators. So you can always connect with Light. Yes, and I have also dropped EDU-P Hangout WhatsApp group in the chat. So you can also join EDU-P WhatsApp group. I can't thank you enough, especially those who were here for the first session. Thank you again, Light. Thank you. Thank you so much, Light. Thank you. Really fantastic presentations we've had from 1 p.m. now to 7 p.m. with a short break in between. Wow. It tells how African teachers are really, really deliberate about their professional development. And I'm so excited seeing teachers from all around, from different countries. I don't even know some of those countries. Maybe before we go to, can you just please say hello in the chat and tell us where you are joining from? I think I would like to know because I see different names, different numbers, So I know you are joining from different parts of Africa. Thank you so very much. And it's my pleasure. So, for those who joined in between, I'm Blessing April, and I'm the founder of EDU-P Hangout platform. EDU-P stands for educators and parents. So, it's a collaboration between parents and teachers. Okay. So, in that group, we have parents and we have teachers in the group. Okay, and we try to bridge the gap between the home and the school by sharing relevant discussions that focuses on the upbringing of our children. So if you are interested, please join the EduP Hangout group, and I'm sure you will be interested. Thank you. I see Nigeria, I see South Africa. Wow. Yeah, different countries from Ghana, from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, Abuja. Thank you. I see all your nice comments from Algeria. Wow. From Jos. Wow. Wow. Amazing. 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 Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Yes. Thank you so much. So that's Light details again there. So you can just take it down and reach out to her. From Kwara State, from Ethiopia. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. From Bauchi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow. From Anambra, from Ibadan. So you can imagine the impact, just spreading across. This is what technology can do. So if you've not even believed all what we've been saying or all what Light has been saying, just seeing where everybody is joining from, you know, tells you the impacts of technology in our times and in our season. So we cannot joke with it. I'm in Lagos, Light is in Lagos, but look at how far we've been able to reach from our homes. So keep doing the great work. Yes, it's been our teacher training session for January, and I'm so delighted for the wonderful sessions and the impact so far. Thank you, everybody. And it's time for me. Oh, my video has been off, and some of you might say, I don't know who is talking. So I think I'll just, yeah, power was out before, but now power is back. So this is me. This is Blessing April. Yes. So it's good to have you all. Thank you so very much. You can see it's already dark. It's already dark. And we've been here all day. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you all. Please join the platform, EduP Hangouts, so that we can connect some more, have some meaningful discussion. Time to draw the curtain. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night and a lovely weekend. Thank you. Bye. You can unmute your mics. Yes, you can.
Okay, bye, everybody.